Yeah. Hello, Monarch fans, and welcome to the Hudson Homers podcast. I'm Gary, CB here as always. I feel like we spent almost the whole weekend together.
We saw each other a lot. Yeah, we saw you Thursday, and then we yesterday we both went down, saw John Hollibet's pitch for the Mudcats, and we'll talk about that a little later because that was an awesome day yesterday.
Yeah, it was our Sunday palate cleanser after a week I think that the team would like to forget, that I think fans are going to wipe. Fall into VCU and kind of a slugfest on Tuesday at War Memorial, 16-13. Two really close games with Louisiana on Thursday and Friday. We split that, and then Sunday we're just going to watch that one from the memory bank and start looking forward to the other team from Louisiana, from Monroe. It was, yeah. But we're changing things up a little bit for this episode. Coach Finwood's going to join us later, but we are actually going to have Scotty Young, I guess, outfielder extraordinaire for the Monarchs, join us here. So we're going to bring Scotty on.
Guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Hey,
Great,
Scotty,
man.
what's up, man? I'm excited. Scotty's awesome. Just before he even starts talking, you guys find out. Like the first day I met him back in the fall, I was like, "This dude's the best." Like this guy is such a genuine good kid, man. So I'm happy here, man. Appreciate you being a Monarch.
No, I'm excited. I've been waiting to get on, so I'm fired up.
There we go. We love it, man.
Well, hopefully we bring you some good luck with it, but we know that your schedule is packed this evening with the Golden Monarch Awards going on here in a little bit. So appreciate your time, but you had a pretty good week this week, hitting a grand slam against VCU, which made me, a VCU hater, very, very happy.
Yes.
Nice.
Take us through that at bat, man. That was a big one for us at the time.
No, man, it was a ton of fun, and obviously with runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs, looking to get the ball in the air, and that starter wasn't bad for a midweek guy, and he was like 92, 95 with decent slider, and no, I after my first at bat, he got me 0-2 and ended up walking me. So I feel like I'd seen 8 pitches from him and had a good idea of what both pitches were going to do. He got me good in a 1-1 count with a good slider down in the dirt. I was looking for be on time for the fastball, so I just swung through it, and I had a good idea. 1-2, he was going to go back to it, so I was ready for it. And that's my sweet spot, low and in. It probably wasn't even a strike. It was pretty much at my feet, but I love golf.
It was pretty low, yeah. It was funny because I'm looking through the camera, and something I could tell. I was like, oh, that's a hit, and then I'm kind of looking. I'm like, wait, that's out. Like I was because I mean you're not a guy I think of as somebody who's gonna hit one over the fence. I mean you're people don't know you're 6'6", you're a giant human. But the way you hit, it's more like you're like kind of more like a slash gaps, speed kind of guy. Yeah, and like your next at bat, you had a bunt single, so you kind of saw like the full range of what you can do athletically out there to that night.
100%. No, it was a good time, and obviously a good feeling to get that first one. And no, it was good. And I was telling everyone in the dugout, the pitch before I looked stupid on the slider, so I was just baiting him into throwing it again.
That's funny.
Veteran trick.
Yeah, you say you look dumb on the pitch before you hit a grand slam, next at bat, bunt single. That's a rare line these days, I feel like.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, well, awesome. Well, we'd love to hear a little bit about your journey to ODU, because I know you bounced around a couple places, originally from California, but how did you pathway yourself here to Norfolk to ODU?
No, obviously this is my fifth school in 4 years, which you don't hear too often. So I've been around town. I started in Cal State Northridge, which is right outside of Hollywood in the Big West over there. Just didn't work out. It was backed up with COVID. There was like nine or 10 outfielders. So it was the best decision for me and my family at the time to move home and enroll in junior college. So I that spring I played my freshman year at Santa Ana College. Good competitive junior college team. They actually won the California state title in 2023. But I was looking for a spot to play summer ball, and one of my buddies invited me out to play in the ACBL out in New Jersey. So it worked out for me there. I was going to go play summer ball after my freshman year in New Jersey, and I loved it out there. It was just a great opportunity for me to get away from home and really only focus on baseball. And I got to live with my coach out there, and we had a great time. He had like 7 or 8 animals at the house, and he just took me in as his own. And it was really one of the best summers of my life. Like just getting to go and play every day and get along with a bunch of new teammates, and just the experience of no one really knowing who you are was pretty cool. obviously, like, there was a couple times I got to everyone saw me as this big giant lefty, and you just hit a routine ground ball to second, and I was so fast I could beat it out. So it's cool to get a couple of those under your belt. And no, it was a great time. And there was a couple of my teammates that played for Rowan College of South Jersey. And they're like, hey, man, we're really, really in the running for a national championship next year, and we need a piece. So I went to talk to Coach Valley over there, and somehow convinced my parents to let me move across the country, and the rest was history there, man. We lost 4 games all year and pretty much blew through the junior college national championship, and down in Johnson City, Tennessee, which was a great experience. And from there, I got recruited to go to Rutgers. Had a great time there. I learned a lot, developed a lot as a player. Obviously understood what it took to play at the D1 level. I got to compete in the last 3 conference series at Rutgers, hitting at the DH spot, and I feel like I proved I could play at that level. I hit over 300 and had like over a 2-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio, and had a good time. And from there, this last summer, I went up to compete in the Northeast Collegiate Baseball League. Great competitive league, had a good time there, made the all-star team. And Ryan Feynman actually came out for like a week straight and came to like 6 of my games, and we connected really well, and that's where we hit it off, and he recruited me down here.
And then he left you.
Yes, then he did leave me. No, it's funny. All of the Division I schools that I've been to 3 Division I schools. All of the recruiting coordinators have left before I've gotten there. Funny enough.
Wow.
That's rough, man.
No, it is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember it was cool. The first thing I saw when we got you from Rutgers, I was like, oh man, we played Rutgers. Like,
Yep.
And I went and looked, and you didn't play in that series. But I know, you were there with our guy Joey DiChiero. He was there. He went to Rutgers for his last year.
Yep.
And so we were on the bad side of him having a great day. He had to come out, get the save against us, come back to his old stomping grounds. And what was that like being on his team in that moment?
Oh yeah, that was probably the most special moment I've seen in person on a baseball field. It was just that big homecoming feeling for him. Like he'd been through a lot, man, and I know that was like, you could see it in his eyes when he went out there. Like, he was just so determined. And I love Joe, and I'm sure you guys too. He's just such a great kid and worked so hard. And that was a big moment for him, and getting to celebrate that with him was definitely awesome.
No, he cooked us too.
Yeah.
He cooked us for that half inning and got the save.
Well, it was great because, I wish we won because it's Old Dominion, but
Yes.
Great for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he almost like kind of did what he did a lot of the times at ODU, where he almost kind of walked too many guys and kind of blew it. And so it was pretty great to see him like overcome it and get to have that moment. Yeah, I mean, it was you can't ask for a better thing for a better guy.
No, that was really something special. And he honestly was such a big part of my recruiting process here. Like, he kept telling me, like, I knew I was leaving Rutgers like early May, and he kept telling me, Scotty, you're not going anywhere else but Old Dominion. I'm telling you, you're going there, and you're not going anywhere else. So no, we had a good time over at Rutgers, and we definitely have a special bond. We'll be friends for life, and getting to experience that moment for him was awesome.
Look at Joey D, future recruiting coordinator for Old Dominion. Sounds
yeah,
love it.
Well, we had a pretty special moment on Friday. I think I'm getting my days right. I'm all thrown off this week with the Thursday
yes, it was
series.
Friday, yeah.
But Evan Holman gets the walk-off hit to win it for us. A big win that we definitely needed to at least get one game out of that series. Fun celebration on the field at Harbor Park. What was that like for the guys, in the moment and shortly thereafter when you're heading back to campus?
For sure. No, Ehol's one of those guys you just can't help but root for, man. And seeing him go on a tear, and he works harder than anyone else. And he's never won. Like, he's just such a humble kid. Like, he's never one to take the glory for himself. So when guys like that do it, you're just so fired up, and everyone can't help but smile and be so excited. And obviously a huge, huge win for us. So him stepping up in that moment was not only big for us, but big for him too. And a huge confidence booster, especially coming off the huge Georgia Southern game he had for us. And you don't want, you can't root against guys like that, man. It's just so special and so exciting for him.
He was such a good guy. It was such a big moment that you had to spear tackle him in the outfield afterwards.
Well, no, we were running full speed, tracing him out into the outfield, and Luke had given him a couple of shoulder checks, and he didn't go down. So I was like, all right, that's enough. I'm running right through his chest. I paid the price, though. That Gatorade dump, I don't know how they got it out there so fast. It felt like as soon as I hit the ground, the Gatorade, I was just soaked. But no, it was
they were coordinated. It was I can't remember who it was. It was Lavari and somebody, and they were out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you were 75, 100 feet into right field by the time that thing made it out there. That was your cardio for the day.
That's awesome.
That's my favorite thing in baseball, though, is the guy hits a walk-off and you guys are just trying to like literally murder him.
Yes, precisely. Yes.
Yes, after just been beaten up behind the plate for most of the game. I think I was thinking about, he was our guest last week. We had him on and we were talking about like kind of all the little bruises and cuts, and he's got a little bit less wear and tear this year, but I'm pretty sure in that game, maybe 2 innings before, he took a foul ball right off the thigh. And I was like,
yeah, I know. No, he's a trooper, and we've gotten me and him have gotten a lot closer over these last 3 weeks, and he's just a really special human being. Great kid, great teammate, just great all around. And he's really good player, and it's showing this year. He's won some big games for us on his back, and coming up in those big moments is special for him and for us as well.
Now, what's it been like for you? Now, like you talked about 2 years ago, you're there at Rowan, and I got the stats actually in front of me. I mean, you were a dog that year, right? Like you had you hit what, 441, with 1,096 OPS. Where we got 10 doubles, 8 homers, 16 steals. Like you were the dude, right? And then, you go to Rutgers, like I said, didn't play here. You had 26 at-bats all year.
Yep.
You've got more at-bats already this season. You got 38 at-bats, So what's that like for you going from, I'm sure in high school you played every day, and then you have the year there at Santa Ana. You were playing kind of about half the time, and then playing all the time at Rowan. And then last couple of years kind of having to adjust to, finding your spots here or there. What's that been like for you?
No, it's been difficult for sure. And obviously, I would say pinch hitting is one of the hardest things to do in sports, man. Like coming off the bench, and I was talking about it with someone this weekend. It's like, dude, we're in a spot to pinch hit, and we're like, dude, we have not swung a bat in 5 hours. Like you're really like sitting there. It's like, man, we took BP 5 hours ago, and
because it's not like an ODU, which you have an experience. You can just go over to the cage during the game at ODU,
100%,
right?
100%. No, it's been tough, man. But I think a lot of it is more mental than it is physical, because I've proven to myself I can do it, man. And just continuing to stay prepared throughout the game, and when my name's called on, is to be ready. And I think that's my role this year, and I think I've done a really good job of that. When my name's been called on, I've been prepared, and I think I've come through for the team when they needed me.
Well, and I hate to cut you off, Gary, but I got one more follow-up question. To go right with that, because I know I always cut you off, Gary. I'm sorry, I'm the worst.
You're good. You're good.
I'm a terrible teammate, unlike Scotty. But kind of what I was going to say is kind of to go with that. You're a big like glue team guy. Like you're really, you could really tell like you're a big part of like keeping everybody light, keeping everybody happy.
For
like
sure.
Is that something you think about and focus on, or just kind of who you are?
I would say that's more of who I am as a person and how my parents have raised me. They've always pushed me to always keep a smile on my face, always lift people up. And I think that's just who I am as a person. I see the best in people, and I know I have it in me to bring out the best in people. So I keep that as my role on the team, is just to keep people in the best mood that they can be.
Mom and Dad taught you the pterodactyl sounds?
Oh yeah, they did.
Is that what those are? I was wondering that.
Oh yeah, we have our fun too. There's no shame in that.
Yeah. Well, you seem like you're a very well-traveled person, going from basically coast to coast and different schools, going up to Jersey and then down here to Norfolk. And obviously unique season with no true home games. And there was a stretch there where I felt like you all were on the road for like a month straight, and you're like never coming back home. What's that experience been like for you? And then also just how you've been able to gel with the team being your first year here?
No, it's a good time. Obviously the bus trips, the plane trips, some of them were long, some of them, we were just grinding them out for sure. But no, it's been an awesome experience. We got to play at some beautiful, awesome places and awesome environments. I wouldn't trade it for anything, man. It was something really special, and I think it strengthened us as a team. But we've also seen sort of the backside of it. So, no, it was a great pre-conference experience for us and for me as well, because I love traveling, and we made it fun. We have some bus games we were playing in and out, so we made it work.
Got to do something to knock off the hours on that long bus ride.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Well, I know you're listed as a senior on the website. Like, are you out of eligibility after this year, or what's things look like for you beyond the season?
No, yeah, with the new junior college ruling, thanks to Pavea over at Vanderbilt, I was granted an extra year of eligibility due to, I think what the ruling is now is any player in their last year of eligibility that has played a season of junior college will be granted the 2026 season.
Right. Well, that is good
small
news
window. It's like you and like Maverick and Slater, yeah.
Postrup.
Right.
Yeah. There's a few of us that are affects, and but obviously there's the bounce with the roster cuts. Got to get down to 34 as well. So it does create some havoc. So just got to keep grinding out and proving I can do it on the field, and see where the wind blows.
Yeah, I was talking to Holodets there yesterday with the playing pro, and I said, hey man, all you can ever control is what you do. It doesn't matter where you are. That's the only thing you can worry about.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll get to another thank you card I have to send to Diego over there at Vanderbilt. Now he's been a he's been a good one for a number of reasons, but yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see with the roster cuts too, because I don't think that is all fully settled out yet. I think there's still an ongoing court case, and I think it's going to end up landing where it's a phased in approach, so that we don't end up with that crazy shock. But who knows? You could have a different court case in a different state, rule something different, and I don't know. But we'll find it out. But good to hear. At least you got that extra year of eligibility.
I know. Yeah, I'm excited for sure.
Yeah,
that's good, man.
Awesome. All right, go ahead, CB.
I was probably gonna ask one question you always like to ask. So who are you living with this year?
Oh, so I'm with Teron and Zach. We've had a great house. We're down a little bit down the road on 48th Street, right on the water. But no, we're having a real good time. Zach and I definitely have gotten a lot closer, and Zach and I actually grew up. I should have sent you the video, CB. I always get him with this one, but I grew up like 10 minutes down the road from Zach. Senior year of high school, it was his junior year. We're playing his high school team in a big conference game, and their poor coach decided to put Zach on the mound. Man, I hit a ball like 455 feet off him. I'll send you a video. It's a good one. And the best part, you will never recognize it, Zach, either. He looks like he's 165 pounds, like a stick up there. Yeah, it's awesome.
And you just took him yard.
Yeah, so we smoked them the first game of the series, and then second game of the series, we went to their place, and it was a 1-1 game, and his twin brother comes in the last inning to close it. I don't know if you guys knew Zach had a twin brother. Great kid.
I met his brother. I didn't realize they were twins.
They're identical twins. It's awesome. Comes in to close the seventh inning. Their starter went like 6, 1-run game, dogfight. His twin brother throws 7 innings of relief into the 13th inning, and it was like the poor high school didn't have lights, so it was bottom of the 14th inning, and the umpire goes, all right, if you guys get out of this inning, it's a tie. There's no light left. Get down to 2 outs, 2 strikes, and center fielder for Xavier now, Aiden Anderson, hits a walk-off bomb. Oh, we were so upset. But no, we came out the Friday and ended up winning the series against them. So I'll always have that over him, which is awesome.
Well, that and a 450-foot bomb.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh no, I pull up that video weekly. No, it's awesome.
That's great.
Anytime he wants to talk crap, I'm just like, oh, Zach, did you see this video? Oh, it's good. It's good stuff.
Just have it on the loop.
I have a buddy that was he was literally a bullpen catcher for the Monarchs back in early 2000s, and he only got like 10 at bats his whole college career. But one of them, they were playing Norfolk State, and this guy Eric Crozier, who ended up playing the big leagues for the Blue Jays and a few teams, he was a first baseman, became into pitch. And my buddy Kevin got a single off of him, so that's always one. He saw him a few years later. He's playing against the Tides. It was like, "Hey man, I got a single off you in college." He's like, "Hey man, you can never take it away from you."
100%. No, that's probably the biggest thing I'll take to the grave. Is my first varsity hit was off Paul Skeens.
Let's go.
Oh, wow.
Yes, some I'm going to take down. That's probably the best thing I'll do on a baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can frame that one. That's a pretty good one. He's going to be doing some big things in the league from here on.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I saw him with Team USA when one of our guys, Carter Price, was playing there. He was still with the Air Force, and he just came out. I didn't even know who he was. Came out of the bullpen. I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah. Just gas, disgusting.
Yeah.
It was junior year against us. He would catch 6 innings, and then he went up there and was like 94, 95. We're like, what?
Jeez.
Freak of nature. Oh, all right. Well, the other question we ask everyone that comes on is, you've got the college element to MLB The Show, you got college football game back, all of that. So what would be your overall rating if they were to make a college baseball game? And then what attribute area would you have the highest rating in? Like contact versus lefties, righties? What would your ratings be?
I would push my speed the furthest for sure. I like to flex myself as a good runner, and that would be my attribute, and I would have that 99 steal card. Right now the game's broken. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If someone has a 99 steal, you can throw a pitch out and they'll still be safe. It's disgusting.
Wow.
So they need to go in and fix that. But no, that's what I would give myself. Overall, I'd probably give myself around an 85 right now. Not too good, not too bad. But I'd make sure Zach plays that game religiously, so I'd make sure I'd be on his team.
Oh, he was hard and quick 99 overall. It was his self-rating there.
I'm gonna go yell at him after this.
There's two schools we find. There's the guys like you who are like, we get a lot of like 82 to 85. The guys who are like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still high. But you can, especially like a lefty pitcher, a good 82 in a game is great, right? Yeah. And then you get the guys like Zach who are like, 99, I'm awesome.
He's terrible.
Yeah, it was him and Kenny Lavari last year. It was like a quick 99 with 99 throwing strength, ready to go.
Oh, that's too good.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know you're heading over to the Golden Monarch Awards here shortly. I wasn't even aware of really what they were. CB's got them, but it sounds like we got some guys from the team that are going to be potentially getting some awards tonight.
Oh yeah, we're looking for Eddie to bring home that Mr. Monarch award for us. Been obviously our leader in ODU through and through. It's rare you get a guy that has repped the school for all 4 years. So something special for him. I hope he can take that home. And then we have Zach running up for Newcomer of the Year award. Obviously had a great year for us and is doing a lot of special things out there. And Efren with the Best Game Face award. CB sponsored that big picture from a big double he hit, screaming into our dugout. So hopefully he can bring that one home. Another pretty cool one would be E-Hole's performance over at Georgia Southern, double and a grand slam in the same inning, which is pretty sweet and rare. So no, it'll be a fun night. Everyone's dressing up, so
yeah,
it'll be good for all of us to get together and get some good food in us and enjoy the night for sure.
That's one of the things I really like is that they have like all the athletes get together and do different things. And I remember like there was a soccer match like earlier in the year where like I think y'all had some like the big athletic meeting early season, and like then I'm standing there like every athlete in the entire school comes walking by up in the stands, and y'all are just there for like the amount of time they make you be there, but still like you say, have a good time.
Oh, it's awesome,
Yeah, I saw on Thursday at the game down at Harbor Park. I know women's lacrosse was there. I know swimming was there. There were a couple other teams there.
Women's soccer is there, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So it's always nice to see it. It's even better at the Bud. I know you haven't got to experience that this year, but you normally can pick out pretty much someone from every team in the stands for just about every baseball game.
For sure.
Cool.
And also, CB, I wanted to drop to you. I just signed my contract for the Peninsula Pilots, so I'll be staying home this summer.
Let's go.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm hyped, man. That's awesome. That worked out. So you're about to have a blast, dude. Like this, I think most guys will tell you that's about the most fun you could possibly have. Like they really just set you up well. You get to just relax, like you said, just play ball.
sure.
Dude, my mom's gonna be very happy. You're gonna get a lot of cookies.
No, I can't wait. Her cookies are the absolute best.
You're not gonna be as skinny after summer.
Even a couple of years ago when I played in Moorhead, getting to experience that ballpark, they pack it out, and it's always a good time there. So I'm really excited and get to play a lot of baseball, which I'm looking forward to.
That's great, man. I'm excited about that.
You'll be very much used to that backdrop there and the wind and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I am not sad that the rest of our home games are at War Memorial instead of Harbor Park.
Man. Oh,
that wind blowing in is brutal.
I know. I got bit by that wind on one of them. Ehol got bit by it this weekend, and man, it's just wicked.
Yeah.
Brutal. Harbor. I mean, what I said is Harbor Park is beautiful. It's a wonderful park. It's a great place to play. The vibe at War Memorial is more us. It's more ODU lunch pail. Like we're gonna go. Gritty. Yeah. So I again love Harbor Park. I would never say a bad word about it. Been to a million games there.
100%.
Love War Memorial is it's our vibe, man. So I'm excited about it. We got 6 more there.
For sure.
Awesome, Scotty. Well, we will let you run and get all dressed up fancy for the awards tonight.
Awesome.
But appreciate you coming on with us. It was great to chat with you, man. And we'll be rooting you guys on when you're down in Monroe this weekend.
Awesome. I had a great time, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Cool.
Scotty.
Thanks,
appreciate
Scotty.
you, man. Care. Good kid, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. We need to kick it off with players every time. Maybe that's the momentum swing we need to change the vibe, to get the players.
Is that the move?
First.
Hey, it's whatever works, man. So yeah, no, Scotty's awesome. That's glad we got a chance to talk to him. That's a guy like from day one. I was like, we get him on the podcast.
Yes, yeah. It took us to episode 14, but hey, we've had quite a few guys.
Yeah.
Also happy to hear he's got another year of eligibility left. That's a good
for the
thing.
Pilots all summer is gonna be great. That's really fun.
Yeah. And I will be getting down to some Pilots games this year. I love that ballpark. It reminds me a lot of the high school field that I played at, where it's just that old school ballpark feel. Now, War Memorial has that really cool kind of event space out there off the left field side and the kind of rooftop aspect. And then, they'll have the draft beer cart open there as well.
Yeah.
Always be.
They put on a good time at Pilots game. Because have you been down for a Pilots game? You just been down for the ODU games, right?
I think the only Pilots game I went to was many, many years ago, and I stumbled upon it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those, there was one year, this was back in 2008 or something. I was talking to, I think it was Chris Boggs, was one of our guys. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to play over the Pilots for the summer. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And he said, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is what I do all summer now. Go to the Pilots games. Yeah.
It looks awesome. So we're pumped about it. Well, I see Coach Finwood has popped up backstage. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back. We'll have Coach Finwood and a little update from the Carolina Mudcats as well.
All right.
This episode of the Monarchist Podcast is brought to you by the Pride of ODU Collective. Their mission is to elevate the experience of student athletes through name, image, and likeness, while also elevating the fan experience. If you or your business are interested in getting involved, you can reach out to us directly or go over to theprideofodu.com. That is theprideofodu.com. Thank you for listening, and go Monarchs.
All right. I'll leave you in suspense no more. Welcome to the show, Coach Chris Finwood. How's it going, Finny?
Hey guys, Gary, CB, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be seen.
Yeah. we had Scotty Young on here a little while ago. It was great getting to know him a little bit more.
He's fun, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a good kid, man.
He is a good kid. Yeah, good kid, and he's done a good job when he's gotten his opportunities this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think he's going to play for the Pilots this summer. I heard you guys talking about Pilots, and I know he hit that grand slam, and then Hank called over and said he wanted him for the summer. So. Hey, I always tell people it's a performance-based industry.
Yeah.
So.
No, I definitely love it. You know me. I like going to the Pilots games anyway, but it's a lot more fun when we go up and see some ODU guys. So I love it. It's exciting to hear.
Yeah, and we'll have somebody else. Hank and I usually sit down and figure that out towards the end of the season. We'll have somebody else there, I'm sure. So that'd be good.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you think he was more impressed by the grand slam or his next at bat coming up and getting a bunt single?
Yeah. The bunt single was good. He's gotten a few of those. He runs good. It's interesting, he uses his speed offensively much better than he does defensively, like running the bases. And he's not a great base stealer, and doesn't get great jumps in the outfield, but man, he can really go home to first.
Yeah,
So
that 6'6" frame can move down that line.
Yeah,
that's
you
what I've
don't
seen.
expect it. Yeah, you don't expect it seeing him when you look at him in there. He's kind of long and lanky, but he can get rolling down there.
Yeah, it's not even as fast. He just takes 3 steps and he's there. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I wish I knew that feeling.
Yeah, and we weren't able to get him in on. We've definitely been playing him on Sundays because he's such good energy. We couldn't this Sunday just because F wasn't cleared to catch Morales yet, coming back from that concussion. He could just DH, and so that opens up when he can catch, it opens up a spot to DH somebody else and play Scotty in the outfield. And so we just weren't able to do that. And hey, I talked to him about it, and he understood. But he we'll definitely. He's a guy. On Sunday you need to play guys with the most energy, and he's one of those guys for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're talking through the games this week. It was kind of a mix of many different types of games. I feel like I saw a different team each game that I watched or listened to on Tuesday. But kind of bouncing back to the VCU game, a little bit of a slugfest, a lot of bit of a walk fest. Ugly.
Yeah, ugly, bad baseball game. I told the guys, those are the nights where I just can't take it. Like I should have got thrown out in the 4th or 5th inning, and I'd have saved some
I did
years
enjoy
off my life.
the guy wrote you up. He's like, I'm writing you up. You're like, good.
Yeah, I drove my truck.
Terrible.
I can leave as soon as you throw me
Yeah,
out.
he was
awful.
bad.
He was bad. We were bad. They were bad. It was just a bad game, and walks and just we gave up 2 grand slams, and it just the guys that a couple guys threw the ball okay. Marco actually pitched okay. Stott, Hunt. But too many walks, too many balls, hung or thrown down the middle with 2 strikes, just not good. And, we're not a team typically that's built to come from behind much, but we did a couple times that day, and then we just kind of ran out of bullets. But Brody Connors came in, hit a home run, and he's been working hard, and it's just time to give him a shot. And, I was really pleased overall with his play. I thought he played a really solid third base. He had a couple of really hard plays that he didn't make, but he made all the routine plays and hit the ball hard on the barrel. Didn't have a ton to show for it. But I'm so happy we're never playing at Harbor Park again, because man, it probably cost us 10 home runs in the 6 games we played there.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Scotty a little bit of just it's a beautiful ballpark. It's a fun place to play. But that wind coming in from right center, cutting across the field, just kills anything in the air.
Yeah, it is. And, it's frustrating because the guys, you hit a ball hard in college baseball. You like to get rewarded for it. And, between TJ and Luke, I think in their 6 games they played there, man, they probably could have easily 4 home runs anywhere else. And Brody's ball would have been way out, maybe both of his. But that's the field we were playing on, and that's how it goes. So, and like you said, Gary, the games were different. As unhappy as it was about how Tuesday went, I thought we played, really good baseball on Friday and Saturday overall. We just came up a little bit short out of the bullpen on Friday. And they beat us in the 10th. And Bailey's been good for us this year, and that just wasn't his night, and that happens in the bullpen from time to time. You got to have a short memory, and you got to be brave and tough and bounce back. And, we expect to have him out there with a lead late, the next time we have a chance. And
that was one I wanted to ask you about the thought process.
Yeah.
Like, this is the Thursday game, actually. I think you're like me.
Thursday,
I'm all thrown off.
Get confused about. No, but so you had Ben, best game probably of his career, pitched 6 innings.
Yeah.
And like I've said this before, I try to think along of what I would do, and me having no experience of any games and you having thousands of game experience, so I'm thinking along, I'm like, okay, Ben's looking like he can get through probably 6 innings, and then it's like most of the time we've been putting Hubble after him, and I was thinking Hubble might just go 3 to finish the game, and he threw 2 strong, and
he
then you
did.
put
Well,
Bailey in.
you say that, but he hit
Yeah.
two guys
No,
in
I
the
know.
first inning.
Yeah,
in the
right,
foot
yeah.
With two lefties in the foot with a breaking ball, but he
Right.
got out of it.
Right, yeah.
His second inning, he was
good,
very good. Yeah, and it's just been they had pinch hit all the lefties.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey has been really good against left-handed hitters.
Yeah.
And he gets the leadoff guy 1-2, and then he hangs a breaking ball, and it kind of went downhill from there. So it just didn't work out. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Hub could have thrown sinkers in there, maybe gotten through the night, certainly. And when stuff like that happens, you're always thinking back to what did they do last time? What did they do last time? And Hub threw two really good innings at Georgia Southern, and then in the third just ran completely out of gas.
Right.
And we had to get Bailey in that game earlier than we wanted to. So yeah, I mean, it's just the way this year's going,
Yeah.
Most of the decisions I make this year are wrong.
No, and see, that's the thing is I'm looking at it and I thought, well, Hubble will probably go back out, but then you can't fault, okay, Bailey's your best reliever. You got him in the game to close it out. Like there's no, just because and that's always been one of my major arguments when it comes to things is just because something didn't work doesn't mean it was a bad choice.
Right.
Like one game, I always go back to the Blake Snell of the World Series of the Rays, where he's throwing great, but they take him out because all year their plan had been we won't face the lineup the third time through the order. But then the relievers have been amazing all year, blow the game, they lose. So it's like, well, this is a terrible decision. But if they didn't do that, then it'd be like, well, why are they going against what they've done all year? And
that's right.
So something is wrong just because it didn't work. So I want to talk that through.
You're 100% right, and the players make the decisions good or bad by how they do, because you can cut them up any way you want, I think, in most cases. So they chopped that one over a third baseman's head in the top of the 10th with 2 outs, and it just didn't kind of work out for us. And Kellen's been a little bit off kilter too the last few weeks. The breaking ball hadn't been as sharp, and pitchers go through that, ups and downs like hitters do too. So hopefully those guys can work their way through this and come out of it. And I told the guys they were down, I said, man, if you play like that, you have a chance to win. Sometimes you get beat. I can live with that because it was a good college baseball game. You played a good opponent. You played well. We just didn't get it done. They beat us. That happens. I'm okay with it. It was clean. Ben pitched, like you said. Ben pitched really well. And then Saturday was the exact same game, except we won it.
Right.
Yeah. And we got the big hit in the ninth, and we'd put Evan in the game. I thought Dylan again 6 innings just cruising, and then he went out in the 7th and just lost it. And that's what
sometimes the up and down, right?
Back to your point, like college pitchers, they usually don't die slowly. they friggin' jump off the cliff,
Yeah.
I mean, he gave up a single, and then he threw like 8 out of the next 9 pitches were balls, and all of a sudden the bases are loaded before you can look up. And we got Baines in the game, and I thought he did a good job for us. His hamstring's still barking at him. And it ended up getting through, and then Schumann comes in, and we get to Hunt in a big moment, and he comes in and strikes the same kid that got the game-winning hit out in the top of the 9th, and we hit a 2-0 check swing. It's just baseball. It's 2-0 check swing back to the mound that I'm getting ready to scream at Edwards because he ain't running as hard as he should be.
Yeah, at all. Yeah.
The guy, kind of shot puts it over there, hand grenade, and he sees it just enough to pick up the pace, and he gets on that error, and we bunt him up. Brody got a couple good sack bunts down in that
great
game.
bunt.
And and then Tanner hit the crap out of that ball. Like, that is a home run. And their coach is like, man, when he hit that ball, I said game over. And then I looked up at the flags again, and hey, that ball's a home run in every other park you play in. And it gets caught. But then
Tanner's had a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our guys have this year, just how it's going. But and we had brought Evan in the top of the inning to catch.
Why did you do that? Because I was wondering about that. I was just curious.
He's just a little bit better receiver blocker, than Jack is.
Okay.
And I actually should have put him in the eighth because they had the lefty in the game anyway.
Right.
And Evan's a way better hitter right-handed
Mm-hmm.
than Jack hitting left on left. So anytime we get a chance to get him in there right-handed, we try to. And so, and then he got a big hit for us. Second time in a week he come up with a really big hit for us. So we win, and then Sunday just was not our day, man. It was like every time they swung the bat, it was a hit, and we couldn't do nothing about it. I mean, they were very aggressive, and Blake was just missing over the middle of the plate too much, and it was just that day.
It's just one of those games you have to flush,
you got to
right?
Yeah, you got to just regroup, forget about it, whatever. We're an out away from winning the series, and probably an out away from getting swept, and so that's how baseball goes. It balances out. And as I look at it, the positive out of the weekend, I think one of the positives, I thought Kanan George did a good job in the leadoff spot for us. I thought he got on base. Yeah. He cut down with strikeouts. He hadn't been a great RBI guy anyway, and so we're like, let's get him in there earlier, and maybe he can get something going. So, not that we scored a ton of runs with him doing it, but I kind of potentially like the thought of maybe Brody hitting second behind them, because both those guys are, swinging the bat pretty well. They can both drive the ball as well. So, TJ had tough luck, weekend. He probably lined out 4 or 5 times, I think, to the outfield, and he wasn't very good yesterday or Sunday, but so we'll continue to play around with the lineup. I mean, it's just college baseball. They had 3 completely different lineups all 3 games, and I laugh because it's like they're going through it too, trying to figure out what kind of works offensively. And I was just happy they didn't play a little number one.
I was going to say, finally seeing Luke have a good weekend.
Yeah, and Luke swung the bat better. He swung the bat better. He's still lining out, and he finally got a couple nubbers in there to help out some of those. So that little number one for them, Mandino. He led off on Saturday, the game 3, and I don't think we got him out the whole daggone weekend. I mean, he was a thorn in our side, boy. I tell you. And he didn't even play much the first 2 games. They pinch hit him, later, but I like him. I think he's a good player. So, I mean, overall, pitching wise and everything else, they had a really good team. It's interesting. We haven't played a team with a losing record yet in league play at all. And there aren't many, I know, but everybody we've played is at least 500 or better. So
you got 3 in a row coming up.
We got 3 in a row coming up, and I told the guys, I said, you got to win those series. It's just that simple. You win those series and you get one from Coastal, that's 7, and that's okay. So that's the goal, and none of it's going to be easy, but we can do it. It's up to them. How bad do you want to do it? And 14, 15 wins gets you in the tournament, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So.
Yeah, and I think one thing that was kind of a continuing trend, like, you won the Friday game against Georgia Southern. It was Thursday this week, but even though you lost the game, you got into their starter who had been really just electric all year long. I think Chase Morgan is his name.
Yeah.
I mean, he never looked comfortable on the mound. I don't know if that was a specific approach, but I was encouraged to see the lineup get into that ace starter for them early.
Yeah, he doesn't look the same. He was out early in the year with some shoulder stuff, and he's been really good since he's been back. But talking to their coach, before game 2, he said, he just never looked comfortable out there, man. He doesn't spray the ball like that hardly ever. And he was just a little bit off, and we took advantage of, some of the walks, and were able to cash in some runs and, get the lead in that game. So that was good.
Yeah. And then oddly enough, that Tate Hess coming out of the bullpen throwing like 5 2/3. I was just constantly watching that ERA go down. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! This is wild.
I don't think were the stats right on. I think they were putting conference stats up there.
Maybe that's what.
Yeah, they were weird stats.
Yeah, because all their relievers came in are their main guys, and there's no way that the one kid had only thrown 5 innings all year.
Yeah.
Because we had their name in the scouting report, but I don't think I didn't look back at the stats, but I had somebody else said that, man, they threw that kid that hadn't pitched all year, and I go, no, he's one of their 3 main bullpen guys. He pitched a lot. So I think they may have had just I don't know what they had up there actually.
That would explain why it was moving so rapidly with each out run scored.
Yeah. He was pretty good. Yeah.
I think I remember saying that to you. I was like, how is somebody's ERA dropping that much this late in the year?
Yeah. But just continuing with the year. I mean, the guys. I'll say this: we weren't good. We weren't good Tuesday, and we didn't pitch good Tuesday. We swung the bats fine. You get 13 runs, you should win. But Sunday was just, it was just one of those handful of days you're going to have in a college baseball season where it didn't go our way. So you got to wash that, scrub that one off in the shower. And but the guys are showing up. They're working hard. They came out ready to work today. And, we're trying to pay particular attention this week on trying to get some extra rest because we're able to. We had the Easter off, and today was a very light day. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll practice and then go down and work out in Monroe and just get the batteries back charged up a little bit, hopefully, and see what we can do. So,
is this when you made the schedule, was it kind of intentional having a week here where you're not playing a midweek game?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't play 56 because I was like, we try to play 56 all on the road, like we'll all be dead. So, and I tried to take a couple of the weeks where we were maybe flying or had a longer trip and not played during, the week. And, we just got the 2 midweeks left coming up, and they're just to Richmond and back, so not hard trips. But, hopefully as we get going and, after this flight, we got home, and then JMU is a pretty easy trip, and then home. So, hopefully we'll be able to get our batteries charged up. And then school gets out too, and everybody plays better usually when school's out. So, and there's things that a lot of people don't think about that come up towards the end of the season, after exams and after school's out. One, are all your guys eligible? Because if they didn't pass 6 hours, they're not eligible to keep playing. And you hope that doesn't affect anybody. And it hasn't ever for us. Fortunately, we got pretty good students and they do their work. You never know on a year like this where the guys have missed so much. And then 2, are some guys that maybe aren't in the mix, not traveling, dressing, things like that. Maybe you got to, sit down and have conversations with them for when school's out, if they're not going to stay, how to help them kind of in their journey through this. So it's all part of it. There's always something going on. And it's all a part of the the job. It's most of it's awesome and some of it's, not as much fun, but it's all necessary. And you just try to do the best you can for the players and their futures. And, I've had plenty of kids through the years that the best thing for them was not to stay where they were, at our school and play somewhere else. And I've seen them years later. They went somewhere to maybe a lower level and they played every day and had a great career and graduated. And you see them and you talk to them and they're happy as they could be because they want to play. And it was the right thing for them at that time. And all of that's okay, and then that's the way it is. And, in this crazy, I see all the stuff that's on, Instagram, Facebook, and social media, all that, with the, the football and basketball transfers, the number of athletes that are in the portal and all of those things. It's going to be the same way with baseball. I mean, with having to pare the roster down to 34 guys, we still don't know what it's going to be for the fall, what they're going to allow. We're hoping it's 38, and then you got to cut it to 34 by December 1st is what we're thinking is going to happen. But that's every single Division I school having to knock that number down, and there's going to be a lot of good players that get told they just don't have room, and not just guys on your roster. There's going to be incoming players that are signed that are going to get told that, and it's going to be a crazy summer, man. A very transitional summer, I think, and so we're all still trying to wrap our heads around how to make it work for us the best, because I still prefer to try to get as many kids as we can out of high school and bring them in and develop them and get, create an affinity for the school and the program, someplace that feels like home. Now you're going to lose some guys when you do that, because, I was thinking back, like, Andy Garriola probably gets bought out in this new system before he gets to be a junior or senior. Noah Dean probably gets bought out. And we can't compete with those guys. It's nice to say, oh, they love it here. But when somebody's flashing a couple $100,000 at you, you're going to think about it. And that's just something we're going to have to be prepared to deal with. It's unfortunate. It doesn't feel right. But it's where we're at right now. But I still think that's our best model, to create some consistency in the program and have some guys come up through that you can develop. And that's the fun of it for me anyway, is watching the kids get better. Coaching, I think that's at the bottom line is you're a good coach if your kids improve. And, it bothers me when our guys don't. It doesn't always mean you coach them any different. Sometimes they just don't want to get better bad enough, but a lot of times that's a collaborative thing, both on the success and the failure side. I think everybody's got to take ownership of it.
Well, speaking of a guy who got better while he was with you, Gary and I had the chance to go down and see John Hollabet's throw yesterday for the Carolina Mudcats down in Low A Ball down there in Zebulon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And
that's a cool ballpark. I've been there.
It's a great little spot. Yeah, I've been there a ton of times. And he shoved.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Like from the first go, it was like, okay, this is gonna be a day for John. I think he would end up with 5 2/3, 8 strikeouts. I think 1 hit, 1 walk. He was dominant, and he probably would have finished 6th. They just had a little bit of a bad play there, which apparently the last time out he had a few things, but so John he's now had 3 games as a pro. He's got and one of the games was not great. His last one he had 2 2/3, gave up 5 runs, but overall 13 1/3 innings, 21 strikeouts, 3 walks.
That's great.
It was pretty awesome to get the chance to go down and see him.
And he was sitting
up. Good for him.
Yeah,
but we always like seeing those guys do well. Sam Armstrong's doing really well.
Yeah.
And I think Sam, he just needs a break, but I think he's got a chance to make it. I mean, he played in a couple of those big league spring training games at the end of spring training and did well. So he just stay healthy and keep throwing. Might see him get a call up this year.
But yeah, when you're in Double-A, you're all of a sudden, you're not too far. While we were sitting there, Doc was there in the game with us, and he was watching the MLB app, and Hunter Gregory came in the game Double-A for the Blue Jays and had a 1-2-3 inning. It's like, hey, same thing. You're at Double-A. You're a phone call away.
Yeah, Hunter as well. Yep, no doubt.
Andy was the Midwest League Player of the Week this week. Had 3 straight games where he had a home run. He had a great week.
Well, that's a big year for Andy. He's got to do well this year. So I'm glad to see that. Yeah, all those guys, man, are doing us proud in the minor leagues, and we wish them all the success in the world, certainly. So I tell them all, get in the big leagues so you can give us some money.
Yeah, honestly, right? Yeah. I saw Morgan McGuire was up there, and he had a picture of himself on the field in Yankee Stadium talking with Vinny and Matt Quattaro there. And I sent him a message like, "That's got as a Yankee fan, that's got to be the coolest thing ever." He's like, "It's unreal being on the field there."
Wow, that's so cool. So we go to Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah,
Monroe.
Get some good. That's an interesting part of the world. You feel. I think in Monroe you feel a little more like you're in Mississippi than Louisiana, to me anyway. That northern part of the state is a little bit different, but they got a nice ballpark. It's turf field, nice stadium. I think their facility is really nice. It's a good.
Yeah, their center fielder Henry Garcia Jr. has played for the Pilots the last couple of years. He's a really good ball player, great kid.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. All right, cool. But so we'll have to go down there and play well and see if we can't, get another road series and get ourselves back in the mix for that thing.
Yeah. Are their locker room facilities for baseball a little bit better than the football ones? Because from what I understand with football, you can only have half your team in the locker room at one time.
Oh, really? Yeah. They actually are one of the few teams. I don't know if they still have it. I can't recall. They actually had a visitor's locker room in that old stadium. And they've renovated it and revamped it a few different times through the year. So I can't remember, but it's right next to your visitor's dugout, and the guys can go in there and shower and change right after the game. So that's kind of cool. I mean, nobody does that anymore because it's such a waste of space. You just don't use it enough to warrant having it, But yeah, I didn't know that about football. That football stadium looks rough.
I've heard it's a challenge. It's like it's how they build their home field advantage. I feel like is you only have half the team in the locker room at one time. So
yeah, that was back when they didn't have quite have the number of players they have now, right?
Yeah, that was back in the day. But they've been kind of a stubborn team this year. Like they haven't been swept that often. They managed to take a game from Troy over the weekend. I mean they're going to come battling, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. No, they'll be well coached. They'll play hard. There's never never any of that. We should have swept them at home last year. We had base loaded nobody out in bottom of the ninth and didn't score and lost that Saturday game. I'll never forget that. But we've done well against them. We swept them down there our first year. Opened up Sunbelt play with that. So it's an interesting field because if I remember correctly, the prevailing wind blows out to left field more so than across, but it doesn't help anything to right, but the ball will carry to left for sure. Now, it just depends, what it's doing, but that's usually later in the year it's blowing out the left there. So maybe some of these righties can get some up in the air and get rewarded for it.
Your righties are probably happy to hear that news, and the lefties are like, "Please, just let me go the other way."
Yeah. I mean, and Zach and TJ both, have opposite field home runs. A couple, they both can hit it that way. So we'll see when we get down there what it looks like.
Yeah, and I noticed that when both Zach and TJ were batting, they were almost being shifted at Harbor Park like they were a dead pull right-handed hitter. Like, I mean, that right fielder was in right center the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, most of their balls in the air are driven that way. So that's just kind of how they hit, which I'm okay with actually. But I don't know how many it would be if we were playing at the Bud. I guarantee we'd have 20 more home runs. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it's been this year, and we got to work our way through it like other things. And update on the stadium. There's a bunch of big holes in the ground. And some pipes popping up out of them.
There we go.
So that's progress, and I think they have the groundbreaking ceremony not 2 weeks from today. So I think it's May 2nd, and I think they were saying, well, they wanted people to face the construction, but there's nothing to see. It's just mounds of dirt. So I think they're gonna shift them around and move them toward facing the field. And I'm just impatiently waiting for things to start going up. It's been
start looking like something.
4 months now, and I know that all that underneath work has to be done. I get that, but the kid in me wants to see the stuff starting to look cool.
Give me the big truck and the dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Put that big pile in there. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah,
there you go.
But that'll be
all right, Finney.
So thank you guys. I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate
you,
man.
Look forward to talking again next Monday.
Absolutely.
Yes. Travel
series
safe.
win.
All right, we'll see you.
See you.
Appreciate you.
All right.
What a blessing that we get to have him on every week to talk to us. I mean, it's really great. Because again, like I brought up there about Hubble and Metella, that's one of those ones I think is very easy to look at and second guess it. And it's like, but at the same time, it's very easy to look at and say, well, why wouldn't you want your best reliever in there to close out the game? And so just because it didn't work, but then he mentions the next night putting Holman in to catch because he plays a little bit better defense and hits better against lefties, batting right-handed, and then he gets a game-winning hit off of that. And that's a move. No one's sitting there thinking, "Oh, what a great move they made by putting him in," because it was so small you didn't even notice it. He just happened to be batting, right? No, he was put in the game specifically for a situation like that.
Yeah, and he came up big. I think Kyle Edwards played a really good baseball game on Thursday as well.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of leading the charge offensively, and he stepped into that role as the captain, which has been nice to see. So I think he's hitting right around 300 or close to it.
He's right at it.
He stepped up in a big way. Evan stepped up obviously in a big way the last two series to secure some wins for us. We also had some like coaching moments that I didn't get a chance to share with him. Hopefully he hears this at some point. But we were in some situations where their best left-handed bat was coming to the plate with guys on base. And because of the way we pitched the previous batter, we were able to just put them on and limit the damage. So those intentional walks that we were giving out really prevented Louisiana from having a bigger comeback or an earlier comeback in some of those games that paid off. But I don't know, like you can always second guess those pitching decisions. I mean, what happens if Hubble goes back there and starts melting down, and then now you have to rush Bailey to get ready? Yeah. He comes in with runners on base where bullpen has not been great coming into games with runners on base.
I don't care who you are as a pitcher, that's harder. It's just harder.
Yeah, I know Bailey threw 2 1/3 over 2 games on a kind of a shorter week of rest. So, I would probably make the decision to bring Bailey in just because, like, all right, you've got the lead in the bottom of the ninth. He's been your best reliever this year. Go win game 1 of the series and figure out the rest. Right. So, but it's until we're making the call, we don't worry about it.
And it's like I said, I like to point out, like, I'm trying to think along, but at the same time, I've never been there. I've never coached a game, right? I've got a few like middle school softball assistant coaching games under my belt. That's it. I've never, there wasn't a lot of strategy going on in those. So it's you have to, at the end of the day, it's like, hey man, look, these guys have been, Finney's got like does he have over 700 wins as a college coach? Like he's done some things, right? And he's made some choices that worked out, made some choices that haven't worked out. That's just baseball. Every coach has.
We also left 15 guys on base, so that also did not help the situation.
That's the thing. Is there's a million other spots in the game where something goes different, in that situation.
Yeah.
But let's talk about our players of the week. This is like the guys we've been waiting to put on this board the entire season, right? How we've been all year, like, man, please let me get Luke Waters and Ben Moore up here. So good week for the hitters. So Luke was 8 for 18. Had a triple, 2 RBIs, a walk, a stolen base, had 2 3-hit games. So again, for a guy who's been scuffling, I mean, he's up to hitting 240 for, which is not impressive, right? But when you think about where he's been all year, hitting like 210, 220, to be moving up your average that much this late in the year is a big deal.
In 1 week, really.
In 1 week. Yeah, honestly. Right. We had a lot of guys who had kind of like not amazing, but solid weeks, like Maverick Stallings. He had a 3-hit game, so he went 5 for 14, double a homer, 3 RBIs, a couple of walks, a couple of hit by pitches. Zach Leite, Kanan George, and Kyle Edwards were all 5 for 17. Efren, because I didn't realize he had a concussion. I didn't remember hearing that before, but so he was 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs in the games he got. Brody Connors, we mentioned, right? He 3 for 12 at the plate. Not amazing, but he was hitting the piss out of the ball. He was hitting like line drives at everybody. Had a double, hit a home run there. The game at War Memorial. A couple of big sacrifice bunt that set up that game-winning hit by Evan. Bryce Jones hadn't gotten a bat in a while. Came in the game against VCU, worked a walk, which I was telling him, I was like, hey man, having not come to the plate for probably a month and getting a walk is awesome. and then got in the game.
Discipline.
Yeah. Right.
You want to swing out of your shoes the few opportunities you get, and he had very good at bats.
Yeah, and then he came in, got a pinch hit single in the game on Thursday. So yeah, a few guys, and then Evan Holman with the walk off. He was 2 for 8 for the week with the walk off hit. Scotty Young, he only played in the one game. I think he pinch ran later in the other game, but 2 for 3 with a homer, with a grand slam and a walk and a bunt single. I mean, so we had some. Again, nobody really had. I mean, Luke was the only one who really had like amazing, eye popping, 8 for 18 numbers, but a lot of guys had really solid weeks, despite the fact that we couldn't hit the broadside of a barn on Saturday's game.
No, and when we did hit it hard, it was into that left center gap where everything was going to die. I think Brody Connors, if he had played all 4 of the games this week at War Memorial or at the Bud, he'd have at least 2 bombs on there. Yeah. He was hitting the ball, he was squaring it up, just getting killed in the wind. But defensively, a noticeable impact with him at third. Because Louisiana, if you didn't watch the games, they were putting pressure on us. I think the kid number 9, who was had to have been 7'2" with the stirrups on. Every time he came up, he was bunting with guys on and then putting things in motion. And Brody made some really easy-looking plays that were not easy at all to prevent innings from blowing up on us on Thursday for sure. So glad to see that defensive upgrade there at third base with him.
Yeah, Brody's a dog, man. He's he played at Mater D out in California, which is like a perennially national power. So he came from big time baseball. He's a guy who's been working his butt off all year. I'm sure he's, you're young and you've been playing all the time. I'm sure he's frustrated, but the work he's been putting in is very clear. Those line drive, and I think the same thing is kind of true for Tanner Shadell. He is killing the ball right at people. So I think for both of them, those hits are going to drop. We only have 3 freshman hitters, but I think all 3 of them are pretty great ball players with those 2 and Efren.
I would agree with you. And hopefully F is feeling better for Monroe this weekend because as Coach Finney was alluding to, with him available, he has more options to get Scotty in the lineup, which is a big bat to be adding because he's come up. I mean, if you don't have any limits on number of at-bats, Scotty is leading us in batting average right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so then on the pitching side, we got Ben Moore on here finally. Had a good start last week. We think we were debating about him or Dylan. We went with Dylan because he won the game. Ben, we did not win this game, but it was not his fault. So he pitched a career high 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, but again there were some just little things in there. Struck out 6, 5 hits and a walk. So again, great start for Ben. He looks healthy. I think that's really what came down to. He was having those migraine issues, and he looked sick. He looked weak. And now he just looks like himself. He's out there, he's being himself and smiling and having a good time, and he just looks like he's rocking and rolling. So it's nice to see. It's what we've been hoping to see all year.
Both Ben and Dylan were super efficient with their pitch counts on Thursday and Friday, which is something that they've struggled with. I know Dylan struggled with it a good bit. Last couple starts, you're seeing that come together. You're kind of seeing this starting 3 rotation come into form. Weird game for Blake. He's going to bounce back, but if we're able to push these guys like Ben and Dylan into the 6th, 7th inning, that bodes very well for us because still think we have a lot to figure out in the bullpen.
Yeah. Dylan had 6+ because he went into the 7th, and we talked about it earlier. Like Finney said, I love that they don't die slowly. That's pretty true. So 6+ 3 runs, but I think all 3 of those were allowed, or 2 of those were allowed after he left the game. And then we had 8 strikeouts. Which we're gonna save that maybe for a little while. But Dylan he's got 72 strikeouts. He's leading the conference, and he's on pace to maybe do some impressive things in like the kind of all-time records at ODU, and not going to get anywhere close to like number 1. I mean, that's been Justin Verlander was pretty unbeatable at that. I don't think if that ever happens, we're going to be like just sitting here weeping tears of joy every week with how great that pitching is. And then we talked about Ethan Hubble had a great outing, 2 innings. No runs, 3 strikeouts, no hits, walk, did hit a couple of guys. And then Marco Lavari, who has struggled mightily lately, he came out, looked like himself on Tuesday. He was 1, 2, 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts, looked nasty. And that was really fun to see. And hopefully that continues and gets to keep going because Marco really can be a really great pitcher.
And he's an arm we're going to need come tournament time. If we're able to, if we're in the single elimination, we win. we're going to need some of those arms to step up in a really big way. So I was happy to see Marco. Then, of course, mentally in my head, I'm like, man, I wish we could have got him to him in the 7th, but, based on what we've seen, that might not have gone the same way. Yeah, it's tough. I hate losing to VCU. I understand it. I was glad to see the Bats keep us in that game. And aside from the final game this week, I think the offense may have cured some of the things that have been ailing. We're finding the right mixes of guys in the lineup now.
Yeah, the hitting definitely feels like I said, Sunday was just awful. There's nothing getting around it. I mean, we still had some nice hits, so they just know nothing around them. It'd be like one hit and then be out of it. But yeah, for the most of the week and the weekend before against Georgia Southern, it was like, okay, this is what the lineup should look like. This is what getting a lot. We've got our guys they're not striking out as much. They're putting the ball in play. There's just a lot better. It's almost like you feel like the whole season of kind of coaching and talking and having conversations be like, hey, this is what we should be doing. Hey, this is what we should be doing. And now they're kind of doing it. And it's like some guys, it just took a little while to sink in, I think.
Yeah. And not sad to no longer be playing at Harbor Park. I feel like we hit better at War Memorial. We hit better on the road in a lot of instances. So glad to see that. Get the crowd a little closer together, a little more loud and worked up, I think will be nice. But we've got to win these next 3 series coming up. I don't think there's any question about it. We've got to go win these. We cannot afford to lose a series to Monroe, Marshall, or JMU.
Yeah, all 3 of them are 6-12 in the conference. And so, now at the same time, ULM is 20-21. Marshall is 18-22 right there. They're got better records than we do. James Madison's right there with us at 13-27. So they got a few more losses, but so it's not like, we can really sit here with our 8-10 and be like, yeah, they suck. It's like, no, we got to prove we are better than them. We all know it's been a tough year. We're all experiencing the same thing. And I know the players, and we talk to Finney every week, he knows it, but you hope you really got a good opportunity here with these 3 weeks that you can go out and get on a roll and get going at the right time. And it wouldn't shock me if we went 9-0. It also wouldn't shock me if we went 2-7. It's just unfortunately kind of how things are going. So it's, hopefully they play that they can play and go out and make it happen.
Yeah, I think not having a midweek will help too. I feel like we were a little bit gassed on Thursday just with the short week and quick turnaround from VCU. That was a very, very long baseball game. We were down in Carolina yesterday. It was 2 hours and 37 minutes. I mean, we saw John afterwards, got cookies from the RV, and I was on the road before 4:00, and it was a 1:00 game.
Yeah.
So more games like that I think would be beneficial because that means we're mowing through some dudes.
Yeah, we kind of stopped. We haven't had any short games in a while. Been a lot of long games. Well, actually, the game on Saturday was short, but it was terrible that we
short for the bad reasons.
It's very, very short game when you don't get any hits and just give up a lot of runs real fast. But yeah, so we got to wrap this up though, Gary, because my mom has told me her advice about the podcast that the program where you and I sit here and talk, we tend to talk too much. So
that's true. We do.
We do. That's one of her common complaints with announcers. This announcer, he keeps talking too much. It's like it's his job to talk about. So I don't know what to do with that, Mom. That's sometimes you got to take a note and say, I don't know what I can do about that.
We'll take the constructive feedback because I have more of her cookies that she hooked me up with. She got me Thursday and got me yesterday. Whatever you say, Lois, I got you.
The funny thing is, I never eat any of these cookies. Like I'm already fat enough. I don't need cookies. So it's so funny. She gives out all these cookies. I never have any cookies. But yeah, it was awesome seeing John yesterday. He shoved and it was really cool. And I got more pictures. We shared a few there, but I got more I got to edit. But it was great. And his family is awesome. And he's just a good guy. And he sent me a text later in the night saying, hey man, I really appreciate you coming. And because he's just good people and they're just good people. So hopefully, hopefully get a chance to see him with the Mudcats again, but hopefully he's not there too long. So it wouldn't hurt my feelings if he moved on before I got a chance to see him.
He keeps throwing like he did on Sunday, and he will not be there very long. But thank you, Angie and Mike Hollabets, for inviting us down there, hosting us at the RV before the game, all that good stuff, getting us on the field. It was great. And don't forget, at the prideofodu.com, there is a tracker where you can track all of the ODU alum that are in varying levels of professional baseball. It updates automatically because Mike was smart enough to link it to their MILB accounts.
Yeah, because Matt Kootenai already changed levels, so there you go.
Yeah, it'll happen quickly, but keep an eye on that. And if one of them playing nearby, just swing by the game. They'd appreciate seeing ODU hat or shirt in the stands, saying hi to him, something like that. To show
they
those guys
do.
that we still care.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get up and see Trent Buchanan and Jacob Gomez this weekend. They're both with Augusta. They're gonna be playing Delmarva, so hoping to see them on Saturday, maybe Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we got some people in that area, so head on over this weekend if you're around.
Absolutely.
But, all right. Well, I will take the feedback and I will stop talking now.
Thanks, Mom. We'll finish it up because you don't want to listen. Because you don't want to listen to me talk anymore. We got it, Mom. All right, thanks.
I can't even get my wife to subscribe on Spotify to give us like one more subscriber count. So, but we'll get through it.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
But thank you all for listening, tuning in. Hopefully, we get some wins this weekend in Monroe. But go Monarchs.
Go Monarchs.
Thank you.